Dirt roads to rock crawling, two-buck chuck to screaming eagle, moonshine to 50-year-old single malt. We talk about it all here on Wheelin' Wine and Whiskey with your hosts, Jason and Chris.
Welcome to the Wheelin' Wine and Whiskey podcast, episode 203.
The three?
The three. Holy smokes. Oh, the crowd's still here from episode 201.
I thought you
the marathon episode.
I thought you told him to leave.
How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing great. How are you?
People just hang around until the bourbon's gone here, and the bourbon doesn't seem to run out, so you just got to finally kick them out the front door.
Lorenzo keeps replenishing it.
Yeah.
I think he still has my credit card.
No, but it doesn't work. That's been, you canceled that almost 2 years ago, a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, here we are, 203. We've had quite the run. We finally got through all our KOH episodes.
That's right. We had a good time.
We're done talking about it. We're not going to talk about KOH till next year, right?
Nope, no more KOH.
No more KOH.
We might have race results from other races, but no KOH. No KOH.
No KOH. We're done.
Ultra 4.
No, that was a good run, man. That was, holy smokes. What, just reflecting back on all that, getting those interviews in, and yeah, that was fun.
Oh, yeah, no.
Just rounded out with Charlie there, so that was cool, up and comer.
Yep.
So, well, all right, 203. Here we are. We're still going. We said we weren't going to go anymore, but we're still here.
What do you think? People keep asking us to make more episodes.
Gosh darn it, people like us.
They really like us.
Hey, we got a voicemail. We got reviews.
Yeah, we have some business to conduct.
We got some business here.
We got some business.
Where do you want to start?
Well, let's start with our Barrel Society members. We have a new.
Let's start there.
We have a new. Well, let's thank all of our Barrel Society members that have been started out with us on Patreon and have rolled over with us to Irate 4x4, where we have our Barrel Society action going on there with the forums. And if you haven't signed up with Irate 4x4, it's a free to sign up and make an account at Irate 4x4, and then you have access to all of their cool forums, making it happen outside. Yeehaw! Sounds like a rice rocket. But if you go to Irate 4x4's website, and it's irate4x4.com, and you go to the watch, listen, what is it? Watch, listen, and shit.
Oh boy, come on.
I can't remember. I'm going to have to edit a little bit here, right in the beginning.
Watch, listen, and discuss.
That's what I meant. Watch, listen, and discuss. So go to watch, listen, and discuss, and then scroll down. You'll see Snail Trail 4x4.
And there's Trail Chasers.
And Trail Chasers.
Trail Chasers is new. Welcome to the party, Trail Chasers.
Absolutely.
Even though we didn't even get to see you at KOH.
Right?
Whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever.
Why are we still at the bottom?
Overlanders. Because we started with W. See, we should have been the AAA podcast. Then we would have been at the very top.
Or it could be a Wheeling Wine and Whiskey.
Right. Right.
So anyway, go to Wheeling Wine and Whiskey podcast, which is down at the bottom of the watch, listen, and discuss. And look on the right side there, and you'll see our big logo. And then below that is all your options for signing up to be a Barrel Society supporter of our show. And we have the $5, $10, and of course the $20 Old Elk level. So, yeah, if you feel like signing up, that'd be great. Your support's not required, but would definitely be much appreciated. And on to our new Barrel Society member. We have Jeff from Hollister is our new Barrel Society member. Welcome aboard, Jeff. We appreciate your support.
There we go, Jeff. Welcome to the party. Well, this is cool. We're still growing.
Yeah, we're still growing, and people still like us.
Holy
which is super
smokes! Cool. Yeah, this is good. I was just getting on to Irate 4x4 because it has been a while.
Yeah, there's been some discussion.
I've got to get caught up on here. Holy smokes! So
one of our members is going to be going down. I guess traveling down to Australia for the lunar eclipse that's coming up. Ellen, her travel company specializes in eclipse travel,
right?
And she was looking for recommendations from our Australia contingent down there on where good places are to eat and whatnot. So,
So Charles Locke, Aaron, chime in. I don't know what part of Australia she's going to be in. That's a big.
Well, look at the discussion. There's a discussion in the regular forum, I believe, about it. And
really?
Everybody can see that she started.
Where do I find that? I'm so mad at this.
See, here you go to.
Okay, so I see all the episodes. Mm-hmm. Okay. Swag support
and
calendar
then scroll
groups.
down Perth, Australia, looking for suggestions.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
Ellen started this whole discussion.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, isn't that cool? So there's
an eclipse. All right, cool. Well, yeah.
So Perth, I don't know where Australia looks like. And I mean, I know
you don't know what it looks like.
Well, I mean, it's a big continent. I mean, there's really nothing there's nothing in the middle, and everything's on the coast. You know, Melbourne, I think, is on one side, and I don't know if Perth's on the other or not, but, I know we're going to hear back from Aaron and Charles, and they'll set us all straight.
Yeah,
but it's still what I think is cool is that there's some discussions that are starting up in the irate crowd on our page, which is pretty cool. Stuff that doesn't relate to wheeling at all, but that's kind of fun.
Yeah, for sure. So, okay, well this is cool. Yeah, life's gotten busy, and I need to get caught back up with this, but. That's cool. Welcome. Trail Chasers are here. That's cool to see that post from Ellen. So our Australian contingent chime in and see what's going on.
Yeah, and welcome Jeff from Hollister.
I wonder if Ozzy knows that area at all. He's a transplant though. I don't think he's Americanized.
He's American now.
Yeah,
he's going to lose his accent pretty soon.
Yeah. All right. So that's great. All right, Jeff, welcome. And thank you for your patronage here. We greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, moving on. We have a new review too. I don't know if you heard that.
Oh, yes.
Ooh, man, people still like us and they're writing about us, and this is actually a good thing. So another 5-star review from somebody that wrote in named looks like Preziosa. Is that a 94?
I don't know.
Preziosa 94 via Apple Podcasts. It's a 5-star review titled Best Podcast for KOH Interviews and General Off-Road. I thought we weren't going to talk about any more KOH.
No, we're not supposed to talk about it. Don't read it.
Oh, boy. I'm going to read it anyway. So they have the best King of the Hammers content to really get to know the drivers and watching out on the lake bed. Yeehaw. If KOH isn't your thing, there's still plenty of content for other off-road events and general off-road community updates. Very cool.
Yeah, well, that's true. Very true.
Our information's accurate too.
Well, we try. Awesome. We try. Not always, but most of the time.
We correct it pretty. Oh, speaking of corrections, we didn't give a formal apology for the audio quality for the part 2 of episode 201.
What happened, Chris?
Well, I think Lorenzo drank too much bourbon. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but there's settings inside. He was trying to explain to me about bit rates and kilohertz and megahertz and dicahertz and.
Okay. All right.
And anyway, somehow he set the sampling level to too low of a level, and so it sounded grainy and shitty.
It was. It sounded like a potato. That's what. Turd Ferguson said.
So as soon as we figured it out,
Brian Murphy,
Lorenzo and I put our heads together and figured it out. We got it back to where it's supposed to be and remixed it and re-uploaded it. So all is fixed, and our apologies from Wheeling Wine and Whiskey, and hopefully it'll never happen again.
I was traveling, and then my phone started blowing up. What's wrong with the episode? What's wrong with the episode? I said, I don't know. I haven't listened to it yet. And then I listened through because I listened to the whole episode before, and it was fine. And then somehow in the translation to the upload there, it got lost and potatoized.
Yep. No, something bad happened. So we fixed it.
But it's fixed now. It's good.
I learned, Lorenzo and I learned something new. So what to watch out for. And, sometimes what I really think happened is I have a scroll wheel on my mouse, and I think that I might have been sitting on top of that setting, and I scrolled and didn't realize it, and that's what happened. So,
well, human error is common. It's okay.
That's right. So
so it makes us human.
Don't. Can I come out of the locked cage now? Or
yeah,
no?
you can come out now, Chris. You're fine. You can come out. Lorenzo has to stay in though.
Oh, okay, perfect.
He's on timeout another week.
Perfect.
Ass. All right. Let's see here. Should we try and play this voicemail?
Yeah, let's go. Who's it from?
It's from our buddy Rover Don.
Oh boy, he must have heard that we said something.
I don't know. Here we go.
Jason and Chris and Lorenzo. Hey, it's your buddy Rover Don here. I was just listening to your big 201 retrospectives, and I'm listening to this. You're 4 years in. You're going on 5. I'm thinking, hey, we're over here. We're 4 years in on the Rovicon, going on 5 this summer. Assuming the snow melts at least, and we get a chance to actually get on the trail.
That's right.
And I'm thinking, there's some kind of link. There's some connection. And what can it be? I'm like, God, I mean, you got a Jeep. You got the buggy. I'm over here wheeling Rovers. You got the Ford tow rig and the Dodge tow rig. I got a Chevy.
Wow.
I'm thinking, what can the connection be? And then I remembered, we're united by that one universal truth, the understanding,
Here we go.
the global understanding that Toyota sucks.
Oh,
good,
boy.
guys. Keep it up.
Thank you.
See you in another 4 years.
See you in another 4 years. Well, hopefully sooner than that, Don. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, I'm taking delivery of my new Toyota RAV4 Adventure next week too. So
Adventurer?
Yeah.
What is that?
It's like a ruggedized looking RAV4.
Really?
No.
Oh.
Well, yeah, really, but I would never buy one.
Oh.
I was listening to a review on wheel bearings while I was driving down here, and the guys, it's kind of it's like all the manufacturers are trying to make these vehicles like the Honda Pilot and the RAV4 Adventure. They're trying to make them look a little more rugged, so they appeal more to the overlanders and stuff like that. Whatever. But I don't know. You're not going to take that stuff on the Rubicon, that's for sure.
That podcast, Wheel Bearings.
Podcast, yeah, Wheel Bearings.
Okay, yeah.
I love that show. It's great.
It's that's cool. I've been listening to a couple different podcasts here lately, getting caught up, try to stay caught up with the snail girls there. That takes, a lot of listening time.
I was 10 episodes behind for a while. Then I drove to Reno and got caught up.
That's easy to do. You miss a couple weeks and you're 10 episodes behind. But so I was just thumbing through and I found this great podcast by Dana Carvey and David Spade.
Oh, no.
It's called Fly on the Wall.
Oh, I got to listen to that.
And so they were interviewing Adam Devine. He's been in a bunch of movies, and it is freaking hilarious, dude. I was crying listening to it. But they're good, just that was back in our era, Saturday Night Live.
Oh, Dana Well, if anybody doesn't know who Dana Carvey is, he's one of the people that was in Wayne's World.
Well, yeah. So, some of the great, you got Wayne's World, the dual comedies there, right? Where you got two players. So obviously Wayne and Garth there in that one, and then David Spade and like Tommy Boy,
Oh yeah.
I mean, just absolutely classic there. I love that. Love that movie, Tommy Boy.
Oh no, those are great classic comedies for sure. Very fun stuff.
But anyways, those guys together are pretty damn funny, and the stories that they tell. So that one, and then Two Bears, One Cave. I don't know if you've listened to that one.
Never
before.
even heard of it.
Oh, dude, that one's been around for a little bit. Tom Segura and Brett. How do you say his name? Kreischer. Comedians, and Brett. Bert, I'm sorry, is hilarious. His laugh gets you going. But man, there is no. I mean, it's an explicit label, and there is no
more explicit than us.
Oh yeah.
So how many times do they say the F word?
It's pretty good. Well, it's just not only that, but some of their topics. But you want to go down some rabbit holes, man. Good. Those are two good listens right there, and some behind the scenes stuff. But that was. I've been on the road a lot lately, and so I was trying to find some new ones, and so those are the two new ones added to my playlist.
Well, as I was going through my playlist earlier today, I noticed I probably have 200 or 300 episodes in my queue. I have a lot of road trips I need to do to get caught up. But,
Apparently.
But as I was saying before, wheel bearings, it's a great podcast about, it's all automotive. It's these usually three auto journalists that take out different cars and drive them and then talk about them. But unfortunately, the show is, as we've all kind of are starting to experience, has become mostly electrified cars. And I was driving down here to your place today, and they were talking about the new hybrid McLaren, I guess, that has come out, and they say it's pretty badass. But it's even the supercars are becoming electric now, and they're not for your everyday Joe. $250,000 cars. But they talk. I mean, everybody's got electric cars now. Tesla, of course, Rivian, and Ford's got theirs. And
seeing a lot more Rivians in the Bay Area now.
Oh yeah,
but I still like that hybrid deal where you're not, just sole reliant on battery.
Well, and that's the direction that I mentioned before that Ram's going with their 1500. They're going to be, that was their earth-shattering thing, was they're going to have like a regular petrol engine, internal combustion engine under the hood that's turning a generator. It can run on full electric. So that's the way they're going. It's going to be interesting to see how that sells. But I'm not convinced that the electric pickup trucks are going to be.
No,
I mean, the things we've heard about their towing range is atrocious, and that's like as we've talked about before. Let's say, for example, going to Yosemite, going up Priest Grade, I mean, you have to stop 3 times to recharge your truck just to get to the park.
Yeah. Well, again, that's where the hybrid comes in. But I was just talking with Keith and Melissa here recently of Evolve Racing. So they're getting, they ran out of time and had to get the truck to KOH.
Right.
And so he is going back and rewiring the battery packs, and he found out an issue. I don't know, one computer wasn't talking to one of the other computers, but he said he's got it dialed in now, and the thing goes like a raped ape.
Great.
So that's encouraging. So they're looking for a charger so that they can head out and go to Prairie City. And that's got postponed because it was supposed to be this weekend.
Right.
Got postponed to the 14th, 15th of April.
So the weekend after Easter.
Yeah. So they're going to be there for sure. Hopefully the truck will be there, the Test 10.
Cool.
I know I'm planning on being there. I think you're planning on being there, at least for the day.
It's going to be my birthday weekend. So
we'll see. We should camp out and have birthday. That's going to be a big birthday for you too. What are you, 65?
100.
100 is Chris's 100th birthday. Come out and celebrate Chris's 100th birthday at Prairie City.
Fuck, 65. 55. 55.
Oh, 55. Well, you're more than halfway there.
Shit.
So that's a big one, man. 55. I can't drive 55.
No, they're not big anymore. 50 was big. Now they're all they just continue to get smaller and smaller.
Oh. 49th was big for me, and then the 50th was like, nah, whatever.
Yeah.
We'll see. We're going to party like rock stars this year for 51.
Perfect.
It's all the odd years.
Prairie City.
So anyways, that'll be cool. So Prairie City coming up 14th, 15th of April. And as of now, I'm planning on camping there. So
oh, good. Yeah. I'll try to be there.
I think that'd be fun.
See if I can make
always
that
a good
happen.
time. I know Code from Cold Nosa is going to be there.
Our lawyer.
Yep, our lawyer is going to be there. A bunch of that Sacramento gang, I'm sure will.
Oh, it's right in their backyard.
Yeah.
They should be there.
If we can get Carlos out there and Anthony.
That'd be cool.
TAC 1 Fab and DFF Fab
See
there.
the Wicks boys.
Oh, yeah. Wonder if that would be good.
Come down off the hill, get away from the snow.
Oh, man. I had dinner with Eric last Sunday, and it was, he's just buried at his place, man. It's crazy, and he's one-armed right now,
That's right.
With after the surgery, the bicep surgery, shoulder surgery. So, but he's doing good. He's definitely ready for summer and the snow to melt.
I think everybody
It's been just absolutely relentless up there. I was digging out cabins last weekend, and it's just a ton of snow, which is great great for skiing. Skiing's been awesome when you get those clear days, but
great for our reservoir.
Great for our
replenishment,
reservoirs and stuff. But boy, there's just going to be a lot of damage to repair on structures and stuff, decks and stairways.
It's going to be interesting to see the off-road routes, how washed out and damaged they're going to be.
It's really going to be reliant on how fast it melts.
Right.
So if it melts slow and it doesn't cause big rivulets and stuff down the middle of the trail, but it's definitely going to be. The Rubicon, Fordyce, stuff like that are totally different trails after hard winters like this. They just, the water that moves the rocks and washes out the dirt around the rocks.
Well, now, isn't there rules regarding going on the trails if there's still, but in that transition zone between snow and not snow? How does that work?
Without getting into too many legal logistics, but basically Rubicon's open right now.
Right.
Okay, it's open year round minus that snafu that we just went through. Fordyce, same thing. The trouble that becomes is not on the rocks; it's in the mud areas that develop in mud holes, and going through those and creating bigger ruts and all that. So,
which creates more erosion.
Yeah, so you got to be careful with that. But there's a lot of that's mitigated on those two trails by silt traps and such that. But it gets a little muddy, the water, so to speak.
Yeah.
So just use your brain when you're going into those areas. But it's going to be a late start to our season in the Sierras for sure.
Yeah.
Honestly,
a lot of mosquitoes.
Honestly, I just don't see us getting into any of those rock trails until, mid to late July.
Oof.
So I'll give you time to work on your rig.
What about
Chris.
Adopt a Trail?
Adopt a Trail is probably not going to happen until
September.
Again, we work closely with the Forest Service up there, and we'll have to see, what they recommend. We can get through snowbanks and stuff, but it's just, is it safe? Is it
efficient?
Efficient. There's, how many trees are down with all the wind we've had? Who knows? It's going to be interesting.
Yep.
A lot of work ahead. I know that.
Yep. Well, that's for sure.
Hey, along with our PSA here, we should probably address this Utah. Public Lands
Sand Hollow
Alliance.
and Sand Mountain, the Utah Public Land Alliance. Yeah.
So you can go to their website. It's Utah, UTAHPLA.com. And they have everything very well laid out of what's going on and how you can voice your opinion on this whole matter. And the quick Cliff Notes version is there's 1,050 acres.
That's right.
That they're wanting to exchange for 89 acres. What is this? A business developer? Or
sounds like a land developer for housing. It sounds like.
And so 89 acres in St. George, which is part of a turtle sanctuary.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This.
So the 89 acres would be an area that wouldn't even be wheelable. So they're taking away 1,050 acres.
Well, there's all kinds of layers to this thing. It is. You can sit here and read, and right. I'm confused from reading.
Well, it is confusing, and something that's important for the listeners to understand. This is one of those events that is not a lawsuit from an environmental eco-terrorist group like Sierra Club or what's that group that's always in the Bay Area messing around. But anyway, it's not an environmental group that's trying to shut down the land because they're protecting some sort of frog or toad or bird or lizard or whatever, or flower. This is a business that wants property so they can develop it. It sounds like. If you saw the stuff from Matt from Matt's Off-Road Recovery, they were talking about, we're standing in an area that if this goes through, it's going to be a subdivision. So clearly, if somebody wants to develop that land, you were mentioning earlier about how the Hurricane St. George area is exploding with population.
Yeah, it's
one
been
of
for the past couple of years.
Yeah, one of the fastest growing areas in the country. And my question to you on that was, why? Is it just strictly because the recreation there is incredible? Yeah, the scenery is beautiful, but if you move there and you don't have a job, what's the point? So is there industry there? Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's industry that surrounds the hospitality industry that, recreating, whether it's hiking or off-roading or hotels and golf courses and whatnot. But what is fueling the explosion of population out there? And I mean, the thing that's hard to fight is this is a business that wants to do a land swap, not a straight shutdown by an environmental group.
Well, and that's one of the big arguments here is that off-roaders bring in more money and will continue to bring in more money than housing, people living there.
Right.
It's been proven time and time again. I mean, just Trail here alone brings in more money that 1 week than they do all year long there. And with the growing popularity of Sand Hollow, it's just going to keep, going up from there.
I'm going to throw out that it's speculation that they're going to be like a lot of Airbnbs for people for these events like Trail Hero or whatever else.
Well, and there are a lot of those,
Of course. But I mean, do you need 1,000 new housing units or whatever the number is that they're going to, 1,000 acres, you could build, 10,000 homes.
Yeah, they've done a lot. I mean, there's a lot of building going on just in the last couple of years. I've been going there on the way into Sand Hollow. But yeah, this is, I was looking here to see, so you would lose access to the West Rim Trail, the restrooms on Pipeline Road, and dispersed camping areas, and possibly the Ridgeline Trail.
Right.
And then constructed to mitigate the reservoir loss area there. Staging area in Warner Valley, which is on the opposite side of the area that we recreate in from Sand Hollow Reservoir there. Yeah, so this is crazy, and it's again one of those slippery slopes that if they get this, then where does it stop? It just keeps going and
look what happened.
More land.
Yeah, look what is happening in Moab. I mean, that's not over with. And then without getting into the semantics of it, but I mean, we were talking about excuse me, down in Pismo, Oceano Dunes. I mean that situation.
Wow, you okay down there?
Hasn't resolved itself, and it won't resolve itself for years to come. I mean, there's been some victories, no doubt. I mean, if you go to Friends of Oceano Dunes, their website, friendsfood.org, I believe it is. There's updates and whatnot there, and you can also go to their Facebook page, which has more current information. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, what's happening in Hurricane and St. George and Sand Mountain, Sand Hollow but that again is a kind of unique scenario, like we said, because it's business, not environmental, and it's not a government agency or a lawsuit regarding it to shut it down. But I also see it as being a very unfair land swap. I mean,
yeah, well, and then you put homes in there. It's just like, as we've experienced in the golf industry, you put homes around a golf course, and then people start complaining about the golf course.
Right.
Golf balls and mowers going at 6 a.m. in the morning.
These guys are out recreating all night long.
You just moved next, or you moved next to an airport, and you're complaining about airplanes flying over your house. I mean,
that's right.
Realize where you're moving. So damn well somebody's going to move in there, Karen and Ken, and they're going to start complaining about these off-road vehicles
side by side,
that are in their new quote unquote air quotes backyard.
That's right.
Because they wanted a view of the lake and they're up on the ridge.
That's right.
So yeah, this is not good. So
how do they they voice their concerns?
By midnight, the open period to make a comment period here is till April 19th at midnight.
That's correct.
And so I just go to that website that we cited earlier, the Utah, UTAHPLA.com. And there are bring that page up, and there's easy ways
big tabs
to get into it and read more depth. And, like we've said before on this podcast, when we interviewed Trail Hunter, right?
And Ben,
Ben from Blue Ribbon Coalition,
right.
That, if you personalize the letter and it's not just a form letter, it's going to carry more impact. That does take some time, but once this is gone, it's gone.
Well, and this web page that tells you what the deadlines are has some great points on what you should include in your correspondence to the organizations.
And there is a link to the Blue Ribbon Coalition page that goes into some detail and stuff there as well. So plenty of late afternoon, early evening reading for you. But yeah, here's the tortoise thing that I was reading about. The land exchange might be one way to acquire 89 acres of land within the tortoise preserve. So there is a tortoise preserve out there.
Perfect.
So
these guys have these.
I mean,
we need to call the A-team. Dun, 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 dun. If you've been wronged,
Mr. T.
Pity the fool.
Pity the fool. That would be great if we could get Mr. T as the representative here for off-roaders.
We just lost all of our listeners. They're like, what the fuck just happened?
I pity the fool that take my land away for four-wheeling.
Shit. Well, but seriously, we need to fight the good fight.
Yeah, no, it is. And I'm definitely going to be commenting on this because this is one of my new favorite off-road areas in the United States here. So please take the time, check it out. Even if you haven't been there, I know people, we talked about Pismo in the past, and people have commented on that don't even never been there.
No, but again, yeah.
But it's part of it. It's just like Ian Johnson said, right? He commented on the Pismo thing and threw some money at it, just because it's like when they start taking this stuff away, they set precedent. It's like, here, we're going to take part of Sand Mountain here in Utah. And, this is just like Pismo that would take part of that. And you set the precedent. But
you gave us 1,050. Well, we'll take 2,050 next time.
You start putting up a fight, and there's a bunch of off-roaders. Our community is super strong. So,
yeah. And from what I understand about Sand Mountain and of course the Trail Hero event, I mean, there's a huge turnout of people with all ranges of vehicles, whether it's side-by-sides, dirt bikes, so motorcycles, and then of course, regular buggies, and then just street legal, Jeeps and Toyotas and so forth and so on. So huge number of people recreate out there,
off-roaders, and
every single one of you should be spreading the word and telling all your friends, no matter what they ride or drive, to let their voices be heard and make it. So
the Snail Boys just covered this pretty good on the last episode.
That's true.
So check that out.
It's true.
I haven't finished listening to it, but I know they were talking about this, and I'm sure they went into greater detail. But we would be remiss if we didn't mention anything.
That's exactly right.
So check that out. Maybe Chris will put some links in the
I
show
will,
notes there.
Absolutely. Actually, Jason's going to edit this episode.
Okay, perfect. Here we go. You want it to sound like a potato? Here we go.
Sure, potato. So make your voice heard. I'll put the links in the show notes, and let's be loud and proud.
Yes. All right. What else? What else are we talking about here? Should we talk about what we're drinking?
Oh yeah, what we're drinking.
So we haven't done a review in a while.
A little bit of bourbon, boy. Yeah, we haven't done. Kind of going back to our roots a little bit.
We've been busy, so just kind of going back. Chris and I said, hey, let's just do a regular episode, and I'm like, well, I don't even remember what we talked about in regular episodes. Well, we used to do wine and whiskey reviews.
We used to get drunk.
So I said, okay, let's. Well, we don't get as drunk anymore because we got.
We're older and more responsible.
Right.
I'm just throwing shit against the wall.
It's
whatever.
Because Lorenzo, we don't, obviously Lorenzo, we're just trying to, promote less drinking.
He got his one date shit.
He did. So we acquired a bottle, was given to us.
Yes, sir.
Gifted to us from, I believe his name was Dan.
Dan
the Man.
Dan the Man.
We're going to call him Dan the Man. And if you're listening right now, please call us incorrect. I'm at a loss, but it's
he was camped with us in upper
Hammertown Heights Estates, and he goes, "Man, I've been loving the podcast, and here's a little present for the podcast."
Yeehaw.
And he handed us a bottle of Wild Turkey rare breed barrel proof rye.
Woo!
And so, I've been, leaning towards the ryes here the last year or so.
Leaning toward the wise?
The wise and the ryes, because they answer all the whys. When you drink a lot of rye, it answers the whys.
Because I said so, that's why.
Why does this suck? Why do Toyota suck? I don't know. Drink more rye, and maybe you'll find the answers.
I don't have that ready. Oh, shit.
You are out of touch here,
I am
Chris.
so out of practice.
You don't even. I can't even. You forgot to plug that board in. You were like, "Hey, how come it's not powering up?" And I'm like, "You got to plug it in."
That was Lorenzo's job.
Jeez, so out of practice here.
I know.
So this bottle of rare breed is 112.2.
0.2.
And what you said is the 0.2 adds that extra pows to it. So what was your initial impression when you tried it neat?
I tried it neat.
Right out of the bottle. Now it's still cold. It was in the cellar in there, which has been cold outside. So it's in the mid 50, low 50s.
Yeah.
I would say it's probably about 50, 52 degrees in the room there today. But
it was a fresh bottle. Never been opened.
Never been opened. So you cracked it. You did the fresh crack. And what was your initial reaction there, Chris?
So it was my initial was okay. I could a caramel on the nose and then a caramel on the tongue when I started drinking it on the palate, but then it lit me up. It was not. I would not call it smooth. It was definitely a little on the harsher side. It was
alcohol.
Something that gave you something to remember, and it lingered quite a while. It had a long, drawn out tail on it, and it was like I finally. To be fair, it's 112 proof. So, but I finally had to put the fire out. I had to drink some water.
Well, yeah. So you're like, wow, that's hot. And I'm like, well, it is your first taste. So, your palate is like really raw. So, you can't go off of the very initial taste there. And you just had a sandwich. So, you got to cut the mayonnaise and mustard in your mouth there a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
So I tried it, and it definitely was, you could get the alcohol on the nose, and definitely the rye spice, and there was some nice sweetness there.
Yeah.
But yeah, then hitting it, it was like, okay, yep, it's a rye, and then it was like, woo, pow. It was like, woo.
It's unapologetic.
It was very unapologetic, man. It's just like wild turkey flew right in your mouth there. No. But then I said, okay, well, let's do the tradition. Got to put a little rock in there. And boy, that really opened it up.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice.
Smoothed it out, opened it up, just took the bumps out of the road.
So, this is a blend of their, Wild Turkey's ryes of 4, 6, and 8 year.
Okay.
They're Kentucky straight rye. And they're, Wild Turkey, love it, hate it, whatever. You probably had the regular Wild Turkey and you're like, oh, that's kind of rock gut, No, regular Wild Turkey's not too bad, but there these other expressions that they do, definitely on the, I would say the I don't know, stronger side, but not stronger in like, just that they're bold. They're a little bit bolder
and crunchy.
So yes. But it's let's see what their website, if you go on to wildturkeybourbon.com.
They're not going to be biased.
Well, let's just no. So they got a little profile here. So taste. So sweet caramel and fruit at the start gives way to complex flavors of wood and rice spice. Okay, I get, obviously the caramel's there and the spice is there. So aroma starts with caramel, apple up front, followed by rich, complex layers of honey, vanilla, rye grain, spice, and charred oak underneath. I got the charred oak, not so much the honey vanilla. Now, after it was on ice, I get the honey and vanilla. And then the finish, smooth and drawn out. Now, that's where you're going to disagree, Chris.
It's drawn out all right.
Where lingering spice flavors mingle with dried fruits and the pleasant fading warmth. No. Well, so it wasn't pleasant for you.
Well, it was
like a harsh uppercut for you.
After I, put a rock in it and had a little water infused to it, it smoothed out a bit. But yeah, it's interesting because we've read some reviews and the tasting notes, but you read me a review from a guy that drinks it that loves it neat, and that made me laugh. It's like that's the confessions.
Oh, where is that? So I was on Breaking Bourbon, which we've referred to before here, which is really good.
Yeah.
So this review.
Oh yeah, read that review because
Mr. Brown.
Is he related to you?
No, he's not. So let's see. I'll just go through. Okay, so picked up a bottle when I saw it at Costco. Definitely spicy with some crunchy, not chewy caramel. I would agree. Yeah, so a little crunchy like toffee and bits of toasted marshmallows. The pepper notes of rye are pronounced, but I was struggling to pick up the flavor on the back end. And yes, that I was getting. Okay. So Breaking Bourbon, Eric writes, this is some good stuff here. I love this. This is about a $50 bottle, by the way.
Yeah.
So it's 51% rye, 37 corn, and 12% malted barley.
Okay.
So, ryes are typically a little bit more on the higher price side because rye grain is more expensive.
Right.
So, okay, here we go. Single mash bill. So they're pretty universal across the board. They're mash bills there at Wild Turkey is what he's saying. So he says on the nose, bright and expressive aroma that is flushed with lemon. Where did they get this stuff? Green apple. There it is again. Melted caramel and pie crust.
Pie crust. I never really sniffed pie crust before.
No, I guess I don't know. There's a vein of
pie.
There's a vein of cinnamon, black pepper, yes, and rye grain spiraled throughout that adds welcome spice. There's also a waft of Lipton tea against a medium to light oak base.
Lipton tea.
Lipton tea. It's very descriptive.
Who's that guy that was a spokesperson for Lipton tea?
Oh my gosh.
Baseball player was.
So, good complexity never comes on too strong. So the palate is a patchwork of flavors that are led by lemon with burnt caramel, black pepper, clove, grass, and methanol in tow.
Grass, methanol. Well, fuck.
Whoa. Yeah, there's definitely some methanol in tow there.
Don't get us wrong, listeners. Once you rock it up, this is pretty good.
This is not for a beginning bourbon drinker. This is for somebody that has the training wheels off, helmet off.
That's right,
and is going 110 through the desert. So this is definitely not for the beginner.
No, do not drink and drive either.
Do not recommended for the beginner here. But let's see the finish. It's like here, a good, nice finish. Spice quickly ramps up, downplaying the whiskey's sweeter side. Yeah, absolutely. A bit of cinnamon rolls in across, along with black pepper, nutmeg, and charred oak. Some dryness also creeps in and lingers. This is great. It's a serviceable finish that mainly works best by contrasting the whiskey's sweeter palate. It's a quality rye that drinks well with a finish that unfortunately drags it down. So it's it's good. Is it like the smoothest? No. But you're getting what you would expect out of a Wild Turkey rye.
It's a hard hit.
It's like I say, this is no training wheels. Training wheels not necessary here.
Unapologetic.
Yeah, unapologetic. Absolutely.
I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong. I mean, once we cut it a little bit with ice or water.
You put it on a rock. It is very good. We're drinking it straight over a rock right now, and it opened up very, very nice. So. Yep. Is it worth the $60? Would you buy a bottle for $60, Chris?
I might throw one in my collection.
I think so. I think it's good. I've got some high proof stuff. I mean, this isn't crazy high proof, but it's there, you know. I mean, some of the Frey Ranch that I have is 128. But that drinks like, you know, a 110 or 101. I mean, it's
a different profile.
It is.
Sure.
It is different. Well, and it's not. So the spice of the rye also adds, and that's what a lot of people, mistake as heat is that spice.
Correct.
It's not necessarily that it's hot alcohol wise, but it's the actual rye spice that you're getting. I want to try this. I'm going to have to try this here before this podcast is over. I'm going to put a little bit of the proof mix in there. You know, I've got pecan and orange in there. I think we're going to have to try that and see what that does to it. Make an old fashioned out of this.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
This
Let's
rye.
try it.
So I think it would really round that out pretty nice. But anyways, I like it. I would buy a bottle. It wouldn't be my nightly go-to, you know, but it's something that when somebody comes over and they're like, "Hey, I want to, give me a rye that packs a little hoo-ha." This would be the one.
This'll do it. I go, whoa, whoa, and their leg will start shaking.
It's like it's like letting the wild turkey out of the cage there. It's like banging off the rev limiter of your Toyota. You know, it's just it's pretty harsh at the beginning with no rock, but you get the rock in there, and then it's like, okay, I like it.
It gets to be a smooth ride.
I like it. Yeah. So,
all right, well, there you go.
So there we go. So we would give it. Let's see what Eric here from Breaking Bourbon gave it. So he gave it 3 out of 5 barrels. Okay. I would agree with that.
Yeah, sure.
It's definitely not like, oh, no, I'd never drink that again. And it's not like, oh, my God, I'm going to buy a case of this. It's like, hey, this is a solid, solid rye. And there you go. The more you know. So there it is. All right. Well, that was fun. It's nice getting back to our roots here. Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Okay. What else? I mean, I've been up to a few things.
You've been up to a few things? Yeah. Have you been wheeling?
No, it's too much snow for that. Shit.
Have you been skiing?
Maintaining my rigs, getting back into doing a little maintenance, little deferred maintenance stuff that hasn't been taken care of for a while.
You mean cleaning your workbench?
Cleaning my no. Changing oil, fuel filters, oil filters.
How'd your oil get dirty in the garage?
Shit. My big truck. Why are you being like that?
Oh, I don't know. I I thought you were talking about the Jeep.
No, the trucks.
The Doge.
The trucks. So I was. I decided. I up until this last week, I'd been paying somebody to change the oil in the Ram, and because it's just every time I tried to do it, it just became a nightmare, a massive mess. And like the first time I ever tried to change the oil, so it looked like somebody died in the shop because I had oil all over the floor and whatnot.
Well, you don't have anywhere to dispose of the oil.
Well, I take it to work.
Well, you got the oil bin there. Yeah, but it's tough. That's one of the hard things about changing your own oil is like, what do I do with the oil?
Yeah.
And then you can bring it down to your, O'Reilly.
Right.
Or local auto parts store. And sometimes they take it, but they usually have a sign on the door, oil bin's full.
Right. No, I have options. But so I went to it costs $150 every time I change the oil at an oil change place. And you're always kind of wondering what those clowns are doing underneath your truck.
I don't trust them.
So finally, I said, you know what? I can change the oil for about $75. Between buying the semi-synthetic oils and the Mopar filter and whatnot, crawling under there. So I crawled under the truck, and the drain plug on the Ram is like a square 3/8 square drive. It's not a hex bolt. It's just you just stick the socket in there and let her rip.
It's like an Allen.
No, it's a square drive. Like you literally stick the 3/8 squares from the ratchet wrench. I use an extension, but anyway.
Okay.
Fuck, man, I had to get under there and really wrench on that thing. I think the oil change place used a fucking impact gun to pound that thing on there. Anyway, I had to get the breaker bar out and get the drain plug out, and I bought a new 20-quart drain pan so that I wouldn't, because these diesel trucks hold a lot of oil.
Oh yeah.
And
how many quarts is your truck?
13.
13, yeah,
or 12 and a half. But anyway, got the oil drain, put the plug back in, and went to, okay, I'm going to pull it in if anybody has a Cummins knows the oil filters on the passenger side, you have to reach in through the wheel well or go from underneath. And the filter, of course, is like 3 feet in the air when you're trying to reach it.
Oh, yeah.
I try to reach it from the inside the passenger side wheel well, and I had a little wrench, and you got air conditioning lines, you got a wiring harness, you got a spring, you've got a shock.
Right.
So many things in the way. And I think they put the oil change place put the oil filter on with an impact gun too, because everything I tried, I finally had to call my son Craig to come over and see if he could get that thing off, because it was unreal. I was struggling so badly to get that oil filter off.
Really?
Between the two of us, we finally loosened it to the point where I did get it off, but we kind of bent it and fucked it up in the process.
To shove a screwdriver through it, and I've done that before.
I was close. I was close to doing that. Finally got it off, and filled up the new filter and changed the gas, or lubricated the gasket, threw the new filter on, and put it on there just the right tightness.
So you're supposed to go till it makes contact and turn it a quarter turn.
Correct.
You don't need to wrench it. It's not high pressure that's going to fucking blow off going down the freeway at 80 miles an hour. People don't realize. And so, you get it to where it's and you lube up the gasket, right? The rubber O-ring on gasket, and then make sure you're nice and clean on the engine block, and get it till it makes good contact, and then give it another quarter turn. That's it. You should not need a wrench to put on and off a fucking oil filter.
So how many ugga-duggas?
There's no ugga-duggas. It's like a it's not even an ugga-dugga. It's like just a
That's why I'm not paying anybody to change my oil anymore. I'm going to do it myself because that.
I don't know.
Excuse me. I know how to change the oil, and I've done it for years and years. And man, what should have taken me 20 minutes turned into an hour and a half debacle, man, and it pissed me off.
I've changed several. I mean, I would say in my day, probably hundreds, if not up to 1,000 oil filters over the years in different vehicles. And I've always done my own, because it's just, I've heard horror stories of taking them to these oil change places and stuff too tight, and then they put the wrong oil in, or it's and they don't drain all the old oil out, and,
right?
Because they're in a hurry.
They don't change the filter. They pretend they change the filter.
Exactly. And it's just like, no. I want to know what's going on. Unfortunately, with this electronic shit that's above my head, and I have to take it to a dealer or a mechanic. I've got a good mechanic, couple good mechanics that I trust with stuff like that. But man, it's just simple oil change.
Well, it should be a simple oil change. It turned into, my next oil change is going to be a lot easier because I did it.
Now you know.
And then I bought another wrench, with the cup style that I can reach up from down below. So it's perfect size.
There you go.
Filter. So and then the other thing that's funny is I changed the cabin air filter. I do that annually on all my vehicles. And I was talking to my wife the other day. I said, "Hey, when was the last time you changed the air filter in your Jeep?" She has a little Jeep Cherokee, right? And she's like, "Well, I've had it 6 years. I don't think I've ever changed it."
Like, you make her change the filter?
Well, I was, sure, why not? She can handle that cabin air filter, right? And she's like, "I don't think I've ever changed it." I know I've never changed it. So I watched a video on YouTube. How do you change the air filter on a Jeep Cherokee? And dude, it's like a 5-minute job. It's in the passenger footwell. You pull a panel off, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, usually it's behind the glove box or footwell there. Yep.
So I ordered a new air filter off of Amazon, and it got delivered the next day. And I'm going to run out. I got a few minutes. I'm going to run out and change our air filter. And dude, I should have taken pictures.
Was it bad?
It was solidly blocked.
Oh, really?
I mean, there couldn't have been any airflow going.
Really? That bad? Where's she driving? She's driving out of the ranch.
Six years that we've owned it. So anyway, I put the new filter in there, and it's like it freaking blows great.
Oh, I bet. So it blows good, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. So.
Giggity. So I after every Sierra Trek trip, Meadow Lake in August, I change out the air filter in the truck. That's just my set time because the dust and everything out there between KOH and some of these other off-road areas we camp at. And going in, but it's 10 miles in, 10 miles out on a dirt road to Meadow Lake in the
and if you're following
the summertime. Although it's probably going to be wet and muddy this year, so it won't be an issue. Maybe I'll let it roll this year.
There might not even be a road this year.
But yeah, you got to have a good blow on your AC there.
And then the other thing that I did was, and I'm glad I did it, is because with this winter the rain has been, bad. So keeping up with new windshield wiper blades and keeping Rain-X on your windshield.
Oh, fuck. I love Rain-X. Do
it like monthly to keep it lively. Yep. I mean, because man, if you have Rain-X on your windshield and you're bopping down the freeway, you practically never need to run your wiper blades.
Well, especially going back and forth up to Tahoe and the roads, and all the crap there, sand and salt that goes on the road, and having topping off your fluid.
Yeah, the windshield washer.
So, California, you can't get, because apparently it doesn't get that cold in California. Apparently, Truckee is the coldest place in the state of California, so historically.
You can't get the defrost stuff.
So you get like down to 0 or something, or minus 10. But if you go just across the border to Nevada, you can get like minus 50.
Yeah.
And that stuff does not freeze.
Well, that's good.
And so there's your little pro tip. If you ever head into Nevada and stop in any of the gas station or Walmart or anything up there in Nevada, just pick up a gallon or so of that stuff and use it for the winter. And fresh windshield wiper blades and Rain-X on the window, and you're good to go. Although I was driving home last weekend and it was dumping rain, and our wonderful, highly maintained California freeways that we pay our gas taxes for. Insert sarcasm here. This van was beside me. Usually, I've got the big F-350, so I'm up above everybody. But there was this van beside me, and it was like I was just getting ready to pass him, and he hit a series of potholes that we were lined up just right where it splashed water up to my windshield. So how high is my windshield? Frickin' 4.5 feet, up. So it splashed my windshield, and I had my windshield wipers on regular, not delay, but just regular. And he hit those potholes, and it looked like somebody just threw, 5-gallon buckets on my windshield. And I was like, for a second, you couldn't see anything. You just had water, just full water on the windshield. And I'm like, it happened so quick, but you just like, okay, just go straight. And then, the windshield wiper cleared it off a couple times, and then you're good. But it was like, holy crap. But the Rain-X, it was amazing to watch it just sheet off the windshield because of the Rain-X.
If you don't use Rain-X, you really should. That's the greatest thing ever. I know Tyler goes on about how great it is too on their show, and it really is. It's no joke. It's one of the best products out there.
I use it on the inside of the Jeep windshield and the buggy windshield as well to keep them from fogging up.
Yeah, you don't have a windshield on the buggy.
Oh, I don't? That's why it stays so clean? Yeah, no, inside the Jeep windshield works great to keep the fog off. They actually have a fog X. It's alcohol-based.
Yeah, exactly.
And it keeps the windshield from fogging up because the defroster in the Jeep is non-existent. But anyways, it's just maintenance stuff that when you're putting a lot of road miles down, it just that little bit on a Saturday morning pays off big dividends when you're out on the road.
Well, and doing it yourself, saves you so much money too. Like I said, I can change my oil on the big truck for $75 in my driveway and $50 for the little truck instead of $100. And I think it's like $100 for the little truck at the dealer and $150 at the oil change place for the big truck. And that all starts to add up after a while. And then of course you have, quite honestly, it's priceless, but peace of mind knowing that you did the job right.
That's the key for me. Is just knowing that it's done right.
Exactly.
And we're not racing Ultra 4 here, but, it's the same thing they talk about. They want to know, these drivers that they've touched every nut and bolt on the car, and they know it's it's done right.
Exactly.
So, anyways.
So you mentioned driving through the mountains. I went up to Reno last weekend to see my mom. I hadn't been up there in a while.
Yeah.
I finally braved the pass, and I drove up Saturday after work, and it was a beautiful day and no issues on the road whatsoever, but it was cold. But the amount of snow up there at Summit is just mind-boggling. You were telling me, and I was like, yeah, I'll see it when I see it. And I'm like getting up there, and I'm like, holy shit, there's a lot of snow up here. Above Donner and Norden, those areas up there, it's just...
Well, you look at like the beginning of the Fordyce Trail, the Eagle Lakes turnoff, right?
Yeah.
And it's just freaking, 8-10 feet of snow right there.
Well, yeah. And I mean, there was a big rig at one point parked on the side of the road. I think it was one of those chain up areas, and he was just parked hanging out.
Yeah.
The snow was taller on the side of the road, was taller than the big rig.
Oh, yeah.
So 15, 16, whatever, 18 feet of snow.
It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy how much snow is up there right now.
Unreal. And then driving, I was there till Monday morning. I left, I checked the weather and I checked the road conditions before I left my mom's place, and they had already put chain restrictions on 80 going, over the Summit. So I told my mom, I'm going to hit the road now because I want to get through before traffic gets stupid. And it was fine. I got on the road, and went through Verdi, Boomtown, and started my climb up towards Truckee, and it was very little traffic. And then, you see the overhead electronic traffic board saying, chain controls in 5 miles. I'm like, okay, cool. We're good, and
So right in Truckee.
right. Yeah. Right now, just before Truckee, a couple miles before just 2 miles before the ag station, I guess it was.
Oh, it was before the ag station they had you put chains on there?
2 miles after the ag station.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But I was climbing the hill. I was about 1.5 miles, 2 miles before the ag station. The road was wet in spots, but it was cold. And I hit a section of black ice.
Oh, you did?
And the truck it was like woke my ass up. It got a little wiggly. I'm like, whoa!
Yeah.
Truck stabilized itself, and I was like, all right, we're real now. This is, it's fine. But it was funny because I got up to got up to the ag station, blew through there, and then 2 miles later, everything came to a screeching halt because all the trucks were, wadded up there getting their chains on, and CHP was cruising around. And then I moved over to the far left and got through it, still in 2-wheel drive, and the roads were still pretty good. Then we got up to Truckee, and that last overpass in Truckee just before you start the climb?
Donner, yeah. It's the Donner Lake exit there.
Donner Lake exit.
It's where the old ag station was.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Where it's really wide there. Well, it's all wadded up because big rigs are finally, the last guys are just like, fuck, I'll chain up now.
Yeah, they're going to chain up at the very last second.
And that's where the chain monkeys or the Caltrans guys are inspecting, making sure you're chained or four-wheel drive.
That's where the chain control is,
And then the guy saw me, gave me the thumbs up. Dude, it was literally right after that overpass that the snow was on the road.
Oh, yeah.
It was like the weather knows.
It does know. No, they always set up right there. Yeah, it is. It's just as you start climbing the hill and going up over Donner Lake and
Just flipped the lever, 4-wheel drive on, trucked my way over the hill, no problem whatsoever.
You got auto hubs or you manual hubs?
I have. I don't have hubs. I've got unit bearings.
Unit bearings, but the hubs are auto locking.
Well, there's no locking.
Or yours spin all the time.
Mine spin all the time.
Yours spins all the time. You can increase gas mileage.
We've talked about it.
We have talked about that.
I know
before.
when I had the drive shaft issue last year or 2 years.
Yeah, that was it.
I know Carlos was suggesting I put those hubs on, and I looked into it. It was like $1,800, man. But I can buy a lot of fuel for $1,800.
Well, there is, but then it's the wear and tear too. I know I got auto locking hubs, and then it's got a manual mode as well. But with all the travel that I've been doing back and forth up there, they lock all the time when I put it in auto, but they won't always unlock. They've been sticking on me, but so I worked on them here recently. In this last trip, they were working like they should. They were unlocking right away because I usually put it in neutral, take it out of 4 high to 2 high and then back up, and that usually disengages the hubs, and then the front end's free spinning again. Just at the hubs, not the front drive line and everything. But a couple times prior to that, I was running like you are with the front drive line, front end live the whole time. Going 80 down the highway.
The next year of Ram, the 2013s, they had the center axle disconnect.
But that's not good either.
Well, it's better than nothing. But anyway, nothing's perfect. But I had I went over the hill. But it was so funny because we're climbing up that tall, steep climb above Donner Lake, and this Cadillac Escalade just blows by me going like 75. And I'm like,
they have California plates.
They did.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and blacked out windows.
Yeah.
And it's like, whatever, dude. Just rock on, Yeah.
Well,
Never saw him again, so he either went off a cliff.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Or he made it.
It's like, okay, yeah, just don't cause an accident up ahead and shut the freeway down, you freaking yo-yo. But that's it. I mean, people don't, the people that drive up there once, twice a year, and, I don't see any snow on the road, but you look at the temperature and it's 28, 29 outside, and black ice.
Black ice is
out
real.
there.
It's a real thing, man.
And especially pickup trucks with no weight in the bed. I air down to 45, 50 PSI, and it improves traction immensely in the snow with those Goodyear Duratrack tires. But man, it's been a brutal winter driving. I mean, I've driven through some sketchy shit, and it's like if I didn't have the off-road experience and stuff, I just keep thinking as sketchy and icy as it gets, it's like, this is nothing like Trail Hero, but but the ice is a whole different animal.
There's nothing you can do about it.
You start sliding. I mean, we talked about the Canadian locker with Jay Barry, where I couldn't even get out of his driveway. All four tires were spinning and just ice.
Ice.
Ice is relentless, and you're watching these cars go backwards on a hill where they should be trying to go forward. But yeah, it's been a rough winter up there, and
the roads show it.
Our
man.
California roads are potholed up so bad, and they'll never be fixed in California. But anyways, so that's enough about that.
Right.
Let's go on to something cool.
Okay, like what?
Like Amber in Crawl Magazine.
Oh, that is
cool. How about that spread?
That was so cool. So
we met Philip Thomas that wrote the article there for Crawl Magazine at KOH this year. He was camped with us. He's an off-road guy, hot rod guy. So him and I shared a bunch of stories about hot rods and cars and stuff. But man, it was super cool to get that magazine in the mail the other day. I opened it up and there's, I'm like, oh, there's Amber.
Yeehaw.
Turn the page. There's Amber. And the article keeps going. And it goes again.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, wow, that's a cool article. I read it and the photos. And Andy Carnitas, we call him Carnitas.
Yep.
He submitted some photos for that. So that was cool to see his name in there. And then, of course, Stuart contributed the photo there when they were winching on this rock, a rock that's as big, if not bigger, than the Samurai on trail. And then you get to the very back, and then it shows her going across the finish line at KOH in the dark there. So absolutely awesome. Very, very cool.
Yeah, no, that article about Amber Turner in Crawl Magazine was super awesome.
Yeah, and we just, yesterday, we went to Dolly, her mom's birthday party.
Yeah, very cool.
21st birthday party.
21st.
And, so Amber was there, and I brought the magazine for her to sign, which was cool.
You posted that up on the IG.
Yeah, I posted it on the IG there. It's just,
good.
You think about what she's accomplished in a short amount of time in a Samurai is really crazy. It's crazy.
Somebody needs to put her somebody needs to put her in a real car, man. I mean, like a freaking V8 powered freaking rocket
bomber.
Well,
that's probably going to happen here before soon.
Don't let anything out of the bag.
It's going to happen soon, but I love it because her heart's with the Samurai, and she's, it's just her gig, she's like, hey, this is what I do. And I'm just, it's more to prove to herself that it's not like, oh, look what I can do in a Samurai. I mean, it's just, this, I love the Samurai and I want to make this the best, that I can. And let's see how we can compete out there. There's 6, 7, 8 of the Samurais out there competing.
Yep.
At KOH. So, but yeah, what a cool article and to see that and be, a fly on the wall in that operation.
Right.
And we consider Amber a friend of the podcast.
Second most times on the show.
Second most times on the show by one, but we'll get that fixed here soon, Amber. But anyways, it was great to hang out with her, and very humbled. It's she has zero attitude, all that in a bag of chips attitude. Oh. So it's the Hannah family is great, a lot of fun. So hanging out with them yesterday and getting to share that celebration,
Hilltop Retreat.
Hilltop Reach. Oh, well, yeah, the house. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Great view up there. But anyways, yeah, so if you have not seen the latest edition of Crawl Magazine, I don't know. I guess you got to order it because it's not like on magazine stands.
I don't know.
But you can subscribe to Crawl, and there's a 20% off coupon in the Cal 4 Wheel In Gear magazine. So check that out. And it comes out, 6 times a year,
right,
every other month. And it's good stuff. I mean, Slauson was on there a couple editions back. And it's just good hardcore rock crawling, stuff. And it's not this,
I'm not a hardcore rock
how many shocks do you have in chrome and, traction boards on your rig?
That was
it was 4-wheel and off-road and four-wheeler and stuff. It was all
monster trucks.
Yeah. Holy crap. Just learned how to drink. Oh, wow, that opened it up nice.
You have a drinking problem over there?
I do.
Jesus Christ.
Did you try that yet?
I am. I'm taking my second little sip. It's really good.
I did. I spilled on
I think you missed your mouth completely.
I did. It was like there's a hole in the glass.
You were so excited.
This is that glass from Snail Trail here. The Wheeling Wines crossed out, and it just says whiskey.
It's booby trapped.
I think it is.
Nice.
I just
fuck.
There we go. Good. We're fine down here. Lorenzo, don't lick that up off the floor. Come on.
Christ.
Have some dignity, for God's sakes.
He's an ass.
So we just mixed it with some of the orange proof syrup.
That's right.
Old fashioned syrup. We've talked about proof syrup before. Boy, that is nice, as I suspected, because rye whiskey and an old fashioned is a way to go, right? And with this orange proof syrup, I could run a little bit less than they say. They say 2 ounces of, your whiskey, your rye whiskey, your bourbon of choice,
rye whiskey,
and then a half ounce of the proof. But this is good.
I think I'm gonna do Manhattans tonight when I get home, or old fashions.
Well, you're drinking an old fashioned right now.
No, I'm gonna do more.
Okay, well there you go. Sunday night. It's your school. It's not your school night. It's a
tonight's Saturday night.
Yeah, this is Saturday night for you because you work Saturdays.
That's right.
You're in the hospitality industry.
Hospitality. Yeah. Okay. Call it what you want.
Well, it is.
Yeah. So I'm gonna party it up a little tonight.
Are you? You got steaks?
I don't know what we got going on for dinner tonight.
So I've had steak the last 3 nites.
Shit.
Well, no. So here's the deal, and it's been Wagyu.
Oh, really?
But wait a minute. There's more. So on my way home from Tahoe, I stopped and visited my good buddy Tom.
Tom Walters.
Yeah. He works at a big food distribution company. Right. So I stopped by there and BS, and he goes, I got 10 minutes, So I said, all right, I'll just come in and say hello.
It sounds exactly like him.
It did, exactly. And so I went in there. Well, like 3 hours later, I ended up leaving. So we did a little tour of the facility. Well, they have, like that particular day, like 38,000 cases came into the facility. 38,000 cases of food.
How many truckloads is that?
I don't know. There's 66 truck bays. There's 66,000.
6-string trucker there?
No, 6-string. I was looking for a 6-string trucker, and I know he was on the outskirts waiting to get into that food distribution plant, and he mentioned that he was going to call Snail Trail again to poor 6-string trucker. Oh, if you listen to Snail Trail, then you know. But anyways, so there's 66,000 square feet of refrigeration.
Wow.
So it's like walking into a Costco that's refrigerated. That's what it reminds me of, with a higher ceiling because, it's all pallet racking stuff, right? And then there's like 62,000 of frozen food there.
You need a parka to walk in there?
Dude, just in the regular warehouse is cold, right? I mean, you're walking into a refrigerator, and then you walk into the freezer, and there's people that are wearing full-on snow suits, full-on Carhartt thick, and especially in the middle of summer in the Sacramento area, it's like 100 outside, and then it's freaking you're in sub-zero temps
so they probably
inside during the day.
They probably got some big generators to back that shit up.
Oh, there is massive. Yeah, you just the food. It's an interesting operation. But anyways, so that many cases. What did I say? 38,000 or so that came in, and then there was like 32. 1,000 that went out that day or something. I mean, it's just crazy distribution center. But anyways, back to the steak. So they have a little employee section where you can buy, food that's about to expire, that they can't ship out because by the time it gets on the shelf, it'll be too late. And it's perfectly fine, an expiration date on most.
It's good for you.
It's good for me. Hey, most of the stuff, and that's a whole nother thing. We can go on a rant about that. But the expiration dates on most of the food items is not absolutely relevant, right? I mean, I do the old smell test, and if it smells okay, then it's good to go. But I mean, that's just a way to sell more food, is if it's, but if it's, got mold and stuff on it.
Well, that's a problem.
That is a problem.
Unless it's supposed to have mold like cheese.
Yeah, like blue cheese or something. But anyways, so I go in there and they got these Wagyu flat iron steaks, and I'm like, well, shit, let me grab a couple of those. And so he hooked me up with his, they get per day, they get a certain amount of, their quota, so to speak. You use it or not. I mean, but you can't just go in there and clean the place out.
Oh, shit.
So everybody has their opportunity. So
it's fair.
So it's totally fair. Yeah. So, him and his significant other that works there. So I was able to double up on the steaks. So you get 2 steaks per person. Per employee. So I got 4 steaks. So I was like, sweet. So I walk out of there and I'm like, wow, these are Wagyu, freaking flat iron steaks, $1.50 each.
What?
$1.50 each.
How big were they? Like
they were like
12 ounce?
No, they weren't 12 ounce. They were like an 8-ounce portion.
Still $1.50.
It's flat iron, so it's not like ribeye, bone-in ribeye. Wagyu, grade freaking.
Still $1.50 for an 8-ounce.
But dude, it's so good. So I was just gonna, have one night and then freeze the rest. But it's been so good, I've been eating them. So I've had steak. Yeah, I brought one over to the party yesterday and cooked that up on the barbecue.
Do they sell tomahawks?
Well, it's whatever they got that's going out. But you have no, you can't just order whatever you want.
But I mean, they do have tomahawks.
Oh, they have them there for sale. Yeah, that they're big distribution. But
I saw something on Facebook about a guy preparing a couple of tomahawks the other day, and I was like, "Fuck, I haven't had a tomahawk steak in a while."
Well, tomahawks are expensive. One, you get them at Costco. Costco has them occasionally, and the best way to do them is sous vide them.
Oh, I don't have that.
No, so you sous vide it, and then you
boil a steak.
Well, you're not boiling it because it's at 110, 120 degrees. And so you cook that internal and then you sear it. You take it off and sear it over a good wood fire, a good oak fire, like I do that in the pizza oven. Oh my God, that is so good. Oh man, now I want a tomahawk steak.
Food talk on Wheeling Wine and Whiskey.
Well, that's what we do here. So, anyways, that's it. But tonight I will. I think I'm having chicken tonight.
Chicken. I say.
Been eating a lot of eggs lately. Now that the prices come down a little bit.
I don't know.
For breakfast.
I don't think I have any eggs in my house. My daughter made cookies the other night, and I think she used every egg we had.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I have one more little bit into something to talk about. It's to be dropping a bomb on the listeners.
You dropped a bomb on me, baby.
I don't have a trailer anymore.
Newsflash: Chris is not going four-wheeling. This just in. More on the 10 o'clock news.
Chris is buying a new trailer.
Well, yeah. So when you said that, and the trailer you had was okay. It was kind of like the Toyota of trailers.
Yeah.
It got down the trail okay, but it was not something you want to go four-wheeling in.
No, and I stopped trusting it last year when I noticed some issues with the hardware. So
yeah, it was a little janky because it was a tilt.
yeah, the whole thing tilted.
It was a tilt trailer, and I remember every time you come into Hollister and you pull in, and then you unlatch your straps, and then you back down off this thing, and it's wha-pow.
Well, remember the time you were standing on the front of it and
shit.
guiding me up, and I got up on it and almost catapulted you.
Yeah, I almost like freaking launched like a teeter-totter.
It was a good trailer. I drove that thing thousands and I towed it thousands of miles, and
It served you as well. And you bought it for how much?
Nothing.
Yeah, exactly. You got it for free. So you put new wood on it. So you invested a little bit, little wiring,
new lights, new brakes.
yeah.
new
So you put
tires.
some money into it, but literally minimal investment, and it served you well for years. But now you got a buggy trailer because you're looking at rock buggies, I heard.
Yeah, you must
Is that
be.
right?
You're hallucinating.
Oh, no? No?
Man, and it's never going to happen.
Come on.
The buggy life is not for me.
Is the buggy... Arr, the pirate's life.
The buggy life is.
Come on.
I don't mind riding in buggies, but I don't think
Buggy
I'm gonna
life's
own
good,
one.
man.
I-
Hashtag buggy life.
Maybe this summer I'll jump in the driver's seat of your rig and take it for a cruise.
Dude,
and
do
see what
it.
happens.
It's...
I'll have
it's
Amber show me
dialed.
how to steal it.
Amber doesn't even know how to start it now.
Oh, really? Oh, since
This
you put the
is
new control panel in?
the new well, it's not, oh God, I'm forgetting the name.
Not the oxygen.
Switch Pros.
Switch Pros.
Switch Pros. Yeah, so it's got a code to put in.
Dave code?
Yeah, Dave code to put in to start it, and nobody knows it except for me.
We'll never know.
And you could start it via Bluetooth too, which is pretty cool.
Perfect.
But
All
yeah,
right,
that's my safety feature. I took the key out of it,
Okay.
and now it's strictly that. But anyways, no, you can drive it. You need to experience the buggy life.
if we can go to
You need to get a red dot buggy with your money that's easier to
shit.
get in and out of. It's got that little woo,
I need a door.
the dip.
I need it to be able to kneel. I need the whole thing to lower down like it's on air shocks.
Oh, geez.
I'm going to talk to Jesse Haynes about that.
Well, he can fix you up.
Just give him a blank check.
Be nice, right?
Is that him calling right now?
Yeah, he's calling you right now. There you go. Pick up the phone.
No, I'm going to get a new trailer before the season. We'll have to see if, God, I hope we're in Hollister next month or in May.
May, that's a month and a half away.
So
7 weeks away for the safety clinic, which is already sold out.
I know. Well, it sells out every time. So,
Well, speaking of buggies for sale,
Samurai James.
no, he's picking one up here soon, and that's going to be a whole nother fun ordeal. But I'm going to leave that at that right now until that's solidified. But Krista Slauson, Randy's wife,
Is her buggy for sale?
is for sale. The maroon buggy, the maroon trail bomber.
Is he building her a new one?
I don't know what's happening, but it's
I
for
saw
sale. I
that
just
pop
saw it
up.
yesterday.
I saw that pop up. I'm like, what?
That's a badass buggy. I mean,
is
she
badass.
wheels the F out of that car, and it's super capable. I would love that buggy.
Maybe he's building her a 4-wheel steer buggy.
I don't know. The world only knows.
What's the asking price?
Don't know. Didn't have an asking price. It was just out there, thrown out to the atmosphere.
If you have to ask.
Pretty much, if you have to ask, you'd have to. It's probably 80 to 100 grand.
Oh fuck.
I mean, it's a tried and true, tested. It's a
Proven.
turnkey, ready to go
Yeah, no.
buggy.
Yeah.
It's got some scratches and stuff on it, but it works. It fucking works.
Is anything
You put
built
fuel
by
in it.
Slauson?
You throw your cooler with your desired beverages in it and your Sandos, and you can go out wheeling, and you can go anywhere. _ anywhere you want to go.
Yep.
And if it doesn't get you where you want to go, then you suck as a driver, because that buggy's super capable. I've seen Krista put that buggy in some spots that I'm just sitting there shaking my head going, you go, girl.
Well, he did.
I'm going to sit here and photograph you.
Didn't he do something that denied Randy at
It did, yeah. So at the top of Z-Walk at KOH this year, we were out pre-running, and it wasn't part of the race course, but we were just out wheeling, wheeling.
Right.
Which I like to do. And at the top of Z-Walk, Randy tried, we talked about this on the podcast. He tried in Gold Digger. It didn't make it. He came back down the trail, and I go, what's up? And he goes, I'm sending Krista up there to see if she can make it up this waterfall. It's nasty. And she made it up. And then he's like, damn it, now I got to go. So
Send
he went
Mikey,
up.
he'll do it.
And then Wicks tried it, Eric Wicks, and he was having some issues with his buggy, staying running, but he didn't make it. And then I made it up, and then it was like, okay. So we were the only three to make it up out of our group of very, very capable. And Ozzy wouldn't even try it. I'm going to say that again. Yeah, I know, Ozzy, you're listening right now, and you pussed out on that waterfall. So
use the P
there
word.
it is.
Damn.
There it is.
See, I'm not part of the buggy life, so I can't. I got no dog.
The
in
buggy
race.
life's not for everybody, but it's pretty freaking cool when you don't have, body panels and shit that you're really concerned about.
No.
Or you can, take them off real quick if you're going to go do a crazy trip. I was going to take my body panels off for hammers this year when we were hitting the harder trails, and I just never did. It was just like last minute, okay, we're going on this trail, and I just throw, a cooler in and my jackets and goggles and go.
Yeah, you
and
got the heated seat. You still haven't put the passenger heated seat in.
Well, it's up to my passenger to put that in. My seat works very good, by the way. I've got the Switch Pros dialed in on that too, high and low.
So there you go. So that it's kind of I'm making some improvements to my Jeep. Hopefully I'm going to work on it the next couple of weeks. But I've got an aux beam. I'm going to rewire everything and run my auxiliary lights, and I'm going to put heated seats in the Jeep.
Are you doing it?
I'm going to get the
elements?
So I'm going to buy them and put them in, slide them into my best top seats, wire them up and connect them to the aux beam.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to have, so I got for lights, I'm going to put my compressor on, air compressor. I know you say not to do it, but there's no reason why it shouldn't be able to do it. And my lockers are going to be on that thing too. Yeah,
the Switch Pros specifically said do not wire up your ARB twin air compressor to it.
But it's just
I get it.
Low voltage 12.
Everything's going through relays and stuff, and I don't know why they say that, but they do.
Well, I'm gonna send a message off to Auxbeam and double check that I can do that. So
yeah, good luck getting something back in English. I don't know.
Well, we'll see what happens. Wow.
It was true.
It's true.
Switch Pros is right down south.
No, I
from us
know,
here.
but I don't have $1,000 just floating around.
Well, you can get I got a little discount code for you for Switch Pros if you want to get one. I know people, but it's still a lot of money. But I'll tell you what, it comes down to reliability out on the trail, right? And it's like, what do you're doing this stuff, and I've talked about this before, is you spend a lot of money on the rigs, right? I get it. But you work your ass off during the week. And when you go out on that Friday afternoon to go four-wheeling and you get to your spot, and Saturday morning you fire up your rig, you don't want to work on your rig anymore. You want to work on your rig in the garage when you're in a controlled environment, relaxed on a weekend, whatever. But, you get there, you just want everything to work.
Yeah.
And work well. So it's paying that money for quality products and making it happen.
I hear a lot of good things about Auxbeam.
Oh no, Auxbeam's been okay. Well, I know some people that are running it and been fine. So, but I have no idea why the compressor can't run off that.
I don't either. But I'm gonna try it.
But let's see.
If I burn my Jeep to the ground,
I was gonna say you got an Element fire extinguisher, so you're fine.
I got two.
You're fine. Oh, you got two in there. That's fine. You're fine.
Waving them.
You just gotta wave them like a. You're gonna wave them like you're bringing in a freaking 747.
Over there! No! Is that scene from Airplane when the freaking plane comes through the window? The 747.
Oh, jeez.
Anyway, we're just kind of getting a little random here, but yeah, good stuff. It was kind of nice to get back into the home studio and kind of get back to our roots, as you said earlier on, and drink a little bit of bourbon, talk about the bourbon, and talk about just life in general.
Yeah, so we've got some more interviews coming up. Where Keith and Melissa there, we'll circle back with them at Prairie City. I got a few more in the queue here. It's been good. It's been I can't believe we're over 200 episodes now and been doing this for 4 years. When's our 4-year anniversary? Is it March?
I think it's May.
April?
May 9th, May 3rd.
Was it?
I'll have to look.
No, it's April. April. I'm going to look right now. Let's see here. Wheel and Wine and Whiskey episodes.
I don't know.
Here it is. Let's go all episodes. See all. And you're going to go all the way to number 1 is April something.
Well, I'm going to look and see when.
April 19th was our teaser.
Okay.
Okay. And then May 7th, we introduced ourselves.
Wow.
Hi, I'm Jason. I am Chris.
Huh.
Yep. So April 19th, we're coming up on 4 years.
4 years. We'll have to have another party.
Another excuse to have a party.
I know Code's been just dying to come down.
I know. He's looking for an I told him you don't need an excuse. Just come down.
He's just looking for billable hours.
He is. And that's why I don't invite him to everything, because I always end up with I've invited him to parties, cocktail hours and stuff at my house, and I get billed an hour and a half, even though I serve him some ridiculously good bourbon.
It's not an hour and 16 minutes or not, because he rounds up. Or
he does. It's every 15 minutes he bills.
Fuck.
Yeah, lawyers bill on every 15 minutes. So, yeah, it's expensive to have him around. He's a good guy. It's expensive to have him around.
For a new lawyer.
Lorenzo likes him a lot. I don't know why, but him and Lorenzo really connect. I mean, like he comes in the house and Lorenzo goes immediately over to Dave. Where most people, he's like hiding in the corner, but him and Dave have a special connection.
I think Dave might carry those little airplane bottles of bourbon in his pockets.
There's something he gives. It's like, yeah, those bourbon bottles are like catnip for the donkey nip.
Donkey ass nip.
And there it is. All right. That's the sign that we end the podcast right now.
All right. So how do they get a hold of us, Jason?
Jesus. It's happening. No, you need to check out our website, www.wheelingwineandwhiskey.com. And of course, you hit our emails, Jason or Chris at Wheeling Wine and Whiskey, Lorenzo at Wheeling Wine and Whiskey. Although nobody's emailed him lately.
I haven't seen anything.
Our phone number, Chris, is what?
408-800-5169.
That's right, 408-800-5169. Call in like Rover Don just did, and that was great. Toyotas suck. Yes.
Toyotas suck. I left a message for the Snail Boys. They didn't play it.
Oh, really?
I don't think so.
Well, yeah. We're going to have to call them again. And then, of course, iRate 4x4. Check that out if you want to hop on the old Patreon and throw a few ducats our way.
No, Barrel Society, not Patreon.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, the Patreon's dead.
Patreon's dead.
I was just looking here because there was something. What was this? They got a ton of stuff on iRate. I mean, seriously, I'm not a big forum guy, but Austin has been killing it here on iRate, and we are happy to pair up with him. Glad to see the Trail Chasers are on there now, and I'm waiting for Rec Gear to get on here.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Bronson and Jess. So we got to get them on here soon. Yeah, other than that, just
waiting for the warm weather to start.
You know, it's nice day to day, a little cool, but we have no precipitation falling from the sky.
Oh, winning.
It's hills are green. We do have white hills behind us here at Lick Observatory, which is crazy in San Jose, and the snow is definitely deep up in the Sierras, but heck of a winter, which is going to make for a ridiculous spring, summer coming in here. Gonna have to get those snorkels on our rigs
Something.
for water crossings.
Make sure we have our bug repellent.
Yeah, you're all afraid of the mosquitoes.
I hate getting mosquito
Yeah,
bites.
they won't be till later.
Itchy and bitchy.
Sounds like a cartoon characters there. Itchy and what was that? Itchy and Scratchy?
Itchy and
Who was
Scratchy
that? Was it Itchy and Scratchy?
The Simpsons, yeah.
Itchy and Scratchy.
Itchy and Scratchy show. Yeah, that's funny shit. So anyway, all right, we've kind of gone off the rails. What are we going to do?
I don't know. Episode 203 in the books. Here we are, home studio. And Lorenzo, you got anything to say? No?
Crickets.
Really? All right. Yep. There he is. Well, that's all right. And with that,
we're out.